King Osiris's fatherhood. At noon, Robert high, like only he could. The fables are bizarre but good. It's Smith Understood.
Shibby, 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 shibby.
Hey there. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Myth Understood with me, Paul Bianchi, and her, Sarah Oliver.
I am here.
Yeah, she is here. She's here. Not all of her voice is here, it seems.
I'm saving some.
You're saving some for later?
Yeah.
Sort of. Okay, great.
A water witch actually tried to take it from me.
I mean, that's a
So
common
I could
occurrence.
score with a bro.
Yeah, that's a common occurrence.
Like a hot, dumb bro.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So how was your date with Chad?
Chad with 4 Ds.
Chad with Chad.
It was bad and we had sex.
Oh, great. Was the sex bad?
Of course. It's
Okay.
Chad with 4 Ds.
Okay. I mean, 4Ds might add some excitement, though. I want to tell you something that actually I told Jake and Callum just yesterday, but I wanted to
Why am I
hear-
being left out?
Well, because you weren't there,
Oh,
and I wanted to gauge your reaction
it's
on
going
this.
to be horrible.
So I was shopping at Michael's crafts
Typical.
store, just where I live,
Yeah.
and I was making a return, and they have a rule there. Probably not all Michael's, but this store.
Every return, you have to give him a little kiss on the forehead.
I had to give him a little kiss on the forehead. I didn't have my receipt, but they could recognize that I had made the purchase with my
Credit card.
with my credit card, and they had to give me the money back as cash only, which I thought was very bizarre. But they
That is weird.
did that for me. They handed me a handful of the remaining coins. They scooped it out of the till, handed it to me. I put it in my pocket. Hours later, I say,
A bully grabs you, turns you upside down, shakes you, all your change comes out.
No, but hours later, I reach into my pocket to retrieve the change and put it in my little dish that I keep all my coins in. And it's not just coins, but there's also one rogue item that has been in my pocket all this time, which is an acrylic fingernail with a bit of actual human fingernail, like that someone had broken it off. And that was there.
Are you assuming it's mine?
No. How would it be yours?
Because I'm always ripping off my fingernails.
Well, sure, but I think the journey of this fingernail is someone working at Michael's who had an acrylic fingernail,
Okay.
broke it off in the till, and then that person, the other person that I had, scooped it out, handed me this severed fingernail. I put it in my pocket and let it live with me for a while.
What color?
Pink.
It could be mine.
Yeah. So
I could be the Michael's cashier.
you could be.
That whole time.
So
And you know what? It's worth more than all the coins in your pocket combined, isn't it?
well, I'm wondering though if for people listening that because your reaction was very muted, Jake's reaction was somewhat muted, but Callum's was like a visceral cringe, this is disgusting thing. So I feel like
That you had someone else's fingernail. It's a fake fingernail. It's not like you.
but also it was broken off and visibly had like actual human fingernail also attached
Are
to
you
it.
sure that's not just glue? Because there's glue on them.
I was pretty positive.
I mean,
I've
it's
seen I've seen a few fingernails.
No,
in
I'm
my
not
day.
I'm not doubting you. I'm not doubling down on that. I'm saying it's fingernail.
Sure.
If you had a severed tip of someone's finger.
Oh,
Ugh.
I mean, yeah, that was part of
Yeah.
it too. I just
You
that
didn't
seems
say
so
it fell apart.
commonplace that I
Yeah.
didn't.
If I found a human bone
Yeah.
or something, but fingernail and hair is where I just don't give a shit. And I
Okay.
am one of those cringy people who are just like, oh my god, the blood, and like I can't watch any true medical show where they're cutting into people. I can't look at the pimple popping videos. Even saying that out loud made me die. But I am also the person. I guess because I worked in restaurants in the past for so long. If food comes out and there's hair in it, if it's like a strand, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's fucking hair. This is cooked. Who gives a shit? Like it clearly fell in the 10 seconds it took to bring my food to me. it's if it's like baked in my casserole and it's a lot, it feels like a message from the back of the house, then maybe but usually I'll never be like, excuse me, because it's like, whatever.
What if you got like a quiche and you pulled out like a false eyelash strand, like a full like
That's been on a different journey, so
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
Uh-huh.
But I do have this like really, really strong memory. And I'm sure because it's such a strong memory that how your brain kind of multiplies things and is like, it was this bad. But my stepdad and I went to Burger King when I was like 8.
Uh-huh.
And this couple, there's one of two things. Either my brain is over exaggerating what I saw, which was really disgusting in the first place, or this couple was trying to pull a scam, which if you're scamming, go to the Ritz-Carlton. What are you doing at Burger King? But they came by and I was like, excuse me, there's hair in both of our burgers. And it was like a lot of hair.
Oh.
Like a lot.
Well, then that seems intentional.
Yeah, that one felt intentional. I don't
Yeah.
know it's which party. I'm not going to blame the Burger King staff. It could have been the weirdos that were just like, we're going to get $5 worth of burgers for free.
It could
Could
Yeah.
be. But it was to the point where both like Alan and I were like, we gotta go. That's disgusting. We're
Yeah.
not ordering here. But who knows? Who knows what my brain memory visuals are? They could be worse. I could have fixed it in post.
They could have.
Yeah.
Oh, also speaking of, I just I've been working on Asylum movies this year.
Asylum. Remind the people from the middle of Earth.
The middle of I forgot we have listeners from Middle Earth.
Yeah. Or tell the hobbits what an asylum film is. It's a film such as
A film. Their most famous film is Sharknado. They are known for making very wacky films that mockbusters is what they're often called. And I've had it was sort of like an LA bucket list thing. Like it had
still
been,
on mine.
Yeah, because I had all these friends who were like, oh my gosh, yeah, I just did this Asylum movie, like Troll versus Wereleprechaun,
I love it.
and you're just like, wow, I how do I get to be a part of this?
Yeah.
And this has been my year.
Yeah.
And this movie that I did that was called Alien Space Battle when I was working on it just came out.
Oh.
And it's like literally playing at the Laemmle Theater in Santa Monica.
Well, because it's gonna get an Oscar. It has to
just until Wednesday. Yeah.
has to have a theatrical release to be nominated.
Yeah. And its name has been changed to Attack on Titan, which is
a show.
that is a show. That is an anime show
Are they gonna get
that is
just-
very popular.
Are they gonna get fucked?
I don't think so. I think that they have a pretty I'm sure that they have a legal department over there, and
Yeah.
that said like, hey, this is free reign. Our story takes place on Saturn's moon Titan, and they do get attacked. So
Wow, weird. Well, what I'm surprised you never shared, or did we share this? Your Thor movie. I know you and I have talked about it at length. I don't know if we shared it with the listeners.
I don't know if we were recording at the time that one came out because that was the first one that I worked on.
Yeah. So if you guys want a really cool look at Norse mythology,
It's an inventive look for sure.
and see all of the things that Paul created for the Norse universe.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of prop making on that one.
You created the hammer, right?
Well, I modified a hammer, but yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's pretty cool. But I was gonna say the exciting thing about this one, this Attack on Titan one, is that I got asked last minute to be the computer voice in it. So if you do end up watching this movie, that you can find on all sorts of streaming services, I think you can rent it on YouTube.
Have you got to hear your part yet?
I did hear it, yeah.
Oh, yay.
I basically channeled a little bit of that like Jarvis energy, like the vaguely British computer voice.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's all we want.
that's all. Yeah.
If it's a female voice, it's like Siri. If it's a male voice, we want Jarvis. Yeah.
Mhm. I was specifically proud of the part where they had me list a whole bunch of numbers that began with 1, and I did the 11107. And I was
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's good. That's good. I'd put some call waiting music on top of that.
yeah, perfect.
Beautiful.
Well, are you ready to hear some mythologies?
If I have to.
Okay. Well, today today we're going to talk about a very magic person named Teta.
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 hmm and this story takes place while the pharaoh Khufu reigned in Egypt, and they were building the Great Pyramid at Giza.
Well, this is pretty far back then.
Yeah, but it's still New Kingdom.
Oh.
His architect Hemen, though an excellent architect, wanted to keep the pyramid safe from the weapons of Set. Those weapons of Set being earthquakes and lightning.
Oh, that's a cool way. Oh,
Mm.
I like referring to natural disasters as weapons now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that.
The Hurricane Ian, watch out. That's a weapon of Ian.
I mean,
But apparently Imhotep, before he died, learned magical words of power to keep pyramids safe from destruction. And he wrote these words on a papyrus roll, and no one knew where it was. Khufu, though, was determined to have his pyramid stand forever, so he was like, we must find this.
this is so ridiculous. It's like when they shut down the pandemic response team, like right before we all got COVID.
It's exactly like that.
You're like, why wouldn't you keep this? If you have something like this, you should keep it going. You should keep the papyrus, framed in the pharaoh hut.
Well, I think what happened was Imhotep did that thing where he's like, "Oh, that papyrus has been on the counter for weeks. I need to put it someplace that's actually safe, that I'll absolutely remember where I put it," and then puts it in like the most bizarre spot and forgets immediately.
Oh God, me and all my stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So Khufu sent out messengers and offered rewards to any who could find the words of power. The priests in the temples from Philae to Tanis searched their records. The magicians of Thebes and Heliopolis sought the aid of spells and incantations, but all of this was in vain. At last, however, one of the pharaoh's sons, Prince Hordadef, came to his father.
He hoard to death?
Hoard to death. Yeah, Hordadef
All right.
came to his father, bowing to the ground, and said, "Pharaoh, my father." And what did he say to him? Everyone says it.
Money, please.
Life, health, strength be to you.
Oh, yes.
I have found a magician stronger and more wonderful than any in your realm. His name is Teta, and he dwells not far from here, at Medum, near the pyramid of your father, Senarfu. And Khufu's like, well, tell me, my son, about this Teta.
Oh my God, there's always some kid that's really into like tabletop magic, right?
Yeah.
It's this kid.
It's
He's
Hordadef.
Ooh!
Well, actually, no, it's Khufu, you'll see, is just like such a slut for magic. He
Oh
loves
my
it.
God.
Yeah. And
This is before TV.
and Hordadef
And
is
podcasts.
like, there is no one like him in all of Egypt.
Say it more fanboy.
Oh. Ooh, there is no one like him in all of Egypt. He is 110 years old and was a boy when Zoser reigned and Imhotep built the first pyramid. He's also a chunky boy. He eats.
Wait, did you say chunky?
He's chunky. He eats 500 bread cakes and a side of beef and drinks 100 drafts of beer each day.
Excuse me. Is he including this in his like resume of what a good magician he is?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Anyone else would be dead.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. What a weird detail.
Also, Daddy, if that didn't wow you enough, he also knows how to restore a head that's been severed from its body.
Yeah, I mentioned that before. You buried the fucking lead here,
He
kid.
drinks 100 drafts of beer, Dad.
What the fuck?
He's so cool. And he knows how to make the savage lion in the desert follow him like a tame dog.
Excuse me. Wait. Kid, you're all over the place. What the fuck does that mean?
He can make a lion follow him. Like
Lion. Okay, I heard line.
Oh, no.
Got it.
Most importantly, however, are those beers. Am I right?
Jesus Christ.
He says, most importantly, He swears that he knows how you may find the papyrus of Imhotep, inscribed with the words of power and the charms that may be spoken to keep a pyramid safe from the blows of Set, the evil one. Oh, fuck yeah. He would destroy the dwelling places of the dead if they were not protected.
Wait, Set's evil now?
Set, yeah, of course Set's evil.
I thought all the gods are kind of ambiguous.
We know that Set's a jerk.
Well, geek becomes a hippopotamus one time. So zoomy.
You do remember things.
Yeah.
So, Khufu, the pharaoh, was delighted by this news, and he said, go then in person, Hordadef, my son, and take with you the royal litter and many attendants.
The royal litter?
The royal litter.
So he's saying the rest of his kids, or
cat litter, the royal cat litter. The cats were really important back then.
That's actually cute. There's a story about a bunch of cats going to find a magician.
No, it's not that.
Damn it.
It's a litter is like a word for like the chair that with like the rails on it that like the servants pick up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Khufu says, bring Teta the Magician hither to Memphis with all speed and treat him as if he were a subject prince visiting me, his lord. Sail up the Nile in the royal boat so that Teta may travel with ease and comfort. So
I knew I'd win him with the 100 beers thing.
So Hordadef sets out on the royal boat, taking with him all the things needful, and he went beyond the pyramids of Dasher until he came to the pyramid.
Well, he didn't do shit. A bunch of like 4 to 6 guys carrying him went this way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He just laid down.
No one else has a name, so we just know Hordadef did this.
This is the original Tesla autopilot.
It is, yeah. And he came to the pyramid of Medum, built by Senerafu. Here he landed and set out up the royal causeway to the pyramid. And in the village beyond dwelt Teta the Magician. And how do you think he looked when he found him?
Probably fat as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, super fat.
Well, yeah, he's eating 100 cakes a day too, right? Or more than that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they found this old man lying on a wooden lounge in the shade of his house, while his servants fanned him and anointed his head and feet with oil.
You want to see a trick?
He had with him 3 dancers, each chained to him of different alien races.
He's Jabba.
Prince Hordadef saluted him reverently, saying, "Greetings." I think this is a weird greeting, by the way. "Greetings worthy of your great and revered age be to you, Teta."
Now do it in a fanboy way. I bet it'll make sense.
"Oh, greetings worthy of your great and revered age be to you, Teta the Magician, and may you continue to be free of the infirmities of the old. May your cankles ever support your beer-filled tum-tum. I come with a message from my father, Khufu, the great pharaoh. Life, health, and strength be to him. He bids to you to visit him at Memphis and share the best of his food and wine, even such as he eats and drinks himself. Pharaohs, they're just like us. And he has sent his own royal boat so that you may travel with ease and comfort. And here is the royal litter of ebony and gold set with bone." His servants are like, "Oh my God, we're going to have to lift this guy." "In which you're going to be carried, even as the pharaoh himself. And from here down to the royal boat, and then all the way from the boat to the palace in Memphis."
Yeah, they're just like, can we just get like a wheelbarrow?
Keep anointing him with oil. We'll just like slide him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Teta the Magician replied, "Whore.
No.
Can I call you whore?" That's Hordadef. "Peace be with you, son of the great pharaoh Khufu. Life, health, and strength be to him. Advance you among his counselors and bring you all good things. May your Ka prevail against your enemies, and may your Bai find the road of righteousness that leads to the throne of Osiris in the Duat. Not very soon. You'll live a healthy life. I come with you. I will come with you to the presence of the pharaoh. But let me also bring my attendants and the book of my art."
Sounds like a corporate merger. Everyone's being very formal.
All these things were done as Teta desired, and in due time he sailed down the Nile on the royal boat and was carried with the royal litter to the palace at Memphis. And when Khufu heard of Teta's arrival, immediately he cried, Bring him before me immediately. I'm excited.
Wonderful. A story with no conflict.
Oh,
Excellent.
yeah. Kind of, yeah. There's not going to be any conflict in this.
Weird.
Well, there will be, but not for any major characters. So Teta was led into the great hall of columns where the pharaoh awaited him on his throne, with the great men of Egypt gathered about him. And Khufu said to Teta, "How is it that a great master of magic like you exists, and I have not heard or seen you before?" And
I did my disappearing trick before you even knew I existed.
and Teta said, what words of wisdom do you think he said?
Wisdom?
Yeah, like what's his wise response to this?
I don't know. I just had my wise ass response.
He said, "He who is summoned is he who comes. The great god Pharaoh Khufu, life, health, and strength be to him, has sent for me, and behold, here I am."
I mean, okay, hi.
And then Khufu said, "'Tis it true, as I have heard of, that you can restore to its place a head that has been smitten off?" And Teta said, "Yeah, bitch. That indeed I can do, by the magic and wisdom of my 100 years and 10.
You're 110 years old?
110 years old.
Wow. I guess I would eat whatever I wanted to.
Yeah. And he's,
Well, I already do, but that's to the point of it really hurting.
yeah.
I guess I'd do that.
And you're also anointed with oils by your servants all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Cat saliva, if is that what you mean?
cat saliva, great. Then Khufu says, "Yeah, bring from the prison one who is doomed to die, and let the executioner come also to perform the death sentence on this criminal." And Teta's like, "No, what? No, don't execute criminals on your own time. Let it not be a man, Pharaoh, oh my lord. If you want to see me put a head back on a body that's been severed, let it be some other living creature, like
Oh, I was gonna say a woman.
let it be a woman. Come on, like, bring me your wife." And he says, "Let it be another creature, like a duck."
No, that's worse.
And so they bring in a duck into
No!
the Hall of Commons.
Name his crime.
Oh, what's the duck's name?
Jackie.
Jack-
Jackie the Quacky.
Jackie the Quacky. And Jackie the Quacky is let in, and they say, "Jackie the Quacky, we sentence you to hopefully temporarily die." And they cut off the duck's head.
No!
And
It's the worst story you ever told. It's so sad.
And then Teta spoke the rolling words of power. And I don't know what the rolling words are, but it's a fun description for it. And his secret charm and the duck's body began to flutter along the ground, and his head moved likewise until they came back together. And the two parts met when they joined, and the duck stood, flapping its wing and quacking loudly because
Oh,
he is Jackie the Quacky.
yeah.
Khufu was so delighted by this act of cruelty.
Yeah.
he
Me next, me next.
he clapped and sang to himself, and then he demanded more animal hijinks.
No.
So he said,
What a little fucking freak.
he said, "Bring in the goose now."
No.
And so they brought in a goose named
Well,
Harold.
we know what his crimes are.
We brought in Gary the goose, and the same magic.
Gary Goosey?
Gary Goosey. And the same magic was performed. And then he said, "What else do we got?
Stop it.
We got an ox, right?" And then they brought in an ox.
No. Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah.
That's not easy to decapitate.
Oh, yeah. They had to take. It was probably very painful.
Jesus.
Had to
no.
hack through that ox's neck like a tree.
No.
And then the ox came back to its feet after the magic was performed.
Shit everywhere.
Yeah, just immediately. There's blood and shit all over
Oh
the
my God.
palace.
Love it.
And Teta, just to get ahead of Khufu, was like, "Oh yeah, he also heard that animals follow me like they're a trained animal. So come on,
Skipping around.
come on, ox," and like started leading the ox around the room by speaking words, and the ox followed him as if it was his like trained puppy.
Yeah, this is some carnival shit.
Mm-hmm. And then Khufu said, splendid. All that was reported of you is true, Teta, sorry, the greatest of magicians. Now you can tell me that which I long to know. Where lies the papyrus in which Imhotep wrote the words of power that went into the building of the pyramid for Zoser? Yes, that for and for that of Senerafu, my father also. And Teta said, "Well, I can tell you where the papyrus lies. It is in a casket of flint that is hidden in the great temple of Amun-Ra at Heliopolis. But I
Oh, so this could have been an email.
yes, but I cannot tell you where that casket is concealed. But I know by my art the one person who can find that casket for you.
Oh, Lord.
And yes, I can tell you who that is." And then Khufu's like, "Oh, then speak. Speak now. And indeed, you shall have a great reward." And Teta says, "Well, this very night, the wife of a priest at Heliopolis shall bear 3 children at birth, and the spirit of Amun-Ra shall be in them. Her name is Rudadet, and one of her children shall find the casket. One of her children shall also sit where you sit right now and rule over Egypt." And Khufu's like, "Whoa, I don't like this prophecy, because surely it would be better to send and slay Rudadet so that her children are never born.
Wait, why?
Because only by treachery can one of this random woman's children become the pharaoh of Egypt."
I mean, it's just a promotion, right?
It's something that's usually handed through bloodline.
How does he know that he's not the father?
I that part isn't in there, but I don't think that Khufu has heard of Rudadet before. And
Artificial insemination, anyone?
did he send his sperm in ancient Egypt?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
With a litter.
with in a litter.
Yeah.
But Teta said, "Khufu, chill the fuck out. Let not your heart be troubled. Your son Khafra shall reign after you, and Menkara his son after him, before a son of Rudadet sits on the throne in the upper and lower lands." Um,
That seems like a really long time.
yeah, right. So he's basically like, "Don't worry, your son and your grandson are gonna die super young."
Yeah, basically.
The words of power can be found and spoken by none but he, and if he speaks them, the great pyramids shall rise at Giza and stand there forever. But if he speaks them not, all that you build, and your son builds, and your son's son after him, shall fall and crumble away and become as the sands of the desert. I am very sober. Can someone hand me my 100th beer? And so Khufu issued a decree that the children of Rudadet should dwell at Heliopolis in all honor, and that if any lifted a hand against them, he, be it even the prince of Egypt, that he should die a death of shame, and his body would be destroyed, so that his ka should perish also.
Oh, wow.
And he bade that Hordadef shall take Teta the Magician to dwell in the palace for the rest of his days, giving him his daily 500 bread cakes,
Good Lord. I thought it was 100. It's fine. Oh,
100 drafts of beer, and a side of beef. Just one side of beef.
wow. This guy's writer is insane.
And whatever else he might desire. His name cannot appear in papyrus when written on papyrus.
Wait, what?
His writer,
Oh, God.
his name cannot appear in papyrus.
Yes, exactly. You
Yeah.
hate the font papyrus.
Yeah, there we go. Meanwhile, the 3 children of Rudadet were born, and when the eldest, Usarkaf, played in the temple of Amun-Ra as a boy, he found the casket of flint, which the papyrus roll containing the words of power was. Imhotep was like, "Oh, yes, of course, the casket of flint. That's where I hid it." Uh, And
Oh, so he's reborn and he's aware he's Emotep. Not just like, oh, this looks familiar.
no, no one's reborn as Imhotep.
Oh, wait, I thought one of the kids is reincarnated as Imhotep.
No, they have the spirit of Amun-Ra in them.
Oh, okay, got you.
So and as that same kid Usakaf became a young priest, and he read them at the dedication of the pyramid of Khufu. As the high priest of Heliopolis, he read them at the dedication of the pyramid of Khafra, and as pharaoh elect, he read them at the dedication of the pyramid of Menkara. And when Menkara was laid in his pyramid, Usarkaf became pharaoh of all Egypt, the first pharaoh of the 5th dynasty. And as for the words of power and the charm against Set the Evil One, they seem to have done all that Khufu had wished, because the three pyramids of Khufu, Khafra, and Kara stand at Giza to this day, the first of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and the only one that is still standing after nearly 5,000 years.
That's so true.
Yeah. So that's our story turned history.
Turned history, turned. We need that scroll.
Mhm.
We've got a lot of things that don't hold up the way the pyramids do.
Yeah, that's true. Though we're very weak against the weapons of Set to this day, aren't we?
To this day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What a conflict-free story.
Yeah. Well,
But-
except for the animals involved, right?
Yeah. Disgusting. But at least that gets undone.
Yeah.
Yeah. No ducks were harmed in the telling of this.
And the prisoner wasn't executed that day. He was probably executed later.
Yeah. Well, you know who is hurt
Who?
and life changed, probably ruined.
Yours?
Well, always. Whoever the palace baker was.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the real victim of the story.
Yeah.
The once they let that little magician move in.
And the brewer?
I mean, the brewer, yeah. But at least you can be like, oh, I got to make a lot more hops, and that sits there. The baker, this is a daily thing.
But for how long? He's 110.
If he's still putting away 500 a day and he's still skipping around enchanting animals, I think that guy's at his midlife, if even.
Yeah. So you think that Teta went on to live to be 220?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always the old people. When you watch the interviews with old people and they're like, "How did you live to be 115?" And she's like, "I
smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
And killed my husband.
Exactly. Drink a lot of. There's that real interview. The lady who's like, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper. All my doctors said not to drink it, and it'll kill me now. They're all dead.
So that's Sarah's official endorsement here. Drink Dr. Pepper.
It truly is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's still around to this day, and he performs in Vegas.
Live from the Las Vegas Strip, it's the terrific Teta.
Wow!
See all of his terrific numbers, such as
Decapitate a chicken.
and put it back together,
Decapitate a mouse.
and put it back together.
Decapitate you, audience member.
Ooh, he doesn't do people. You stay dead.
Opening for Katy Perry, Monday through Thursdays. Decapitating her.
Decapitate. She's part animal, so she goes back together.
She goes back together. She's a Katy cat.
Silly. do. Terrific Teta.
Was showgirl. Decapitated.
I would watch that show. If there was a bunch of
Decapitated showgirls?
high kicking, like it's still animated, like.
And yeah. No, yeah. They're headless showgirls?
No,
Absolutely.
If it was just go to a show and there's a bunch of headless victims, like, that'd be too morbid.
No. But if they're getting paid hourly. Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, Sarah, what are you going to do with the rest of your day?
Pack for the tour.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I go to Washington for this weekend, and I take my probably laryngitis with me.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So get ready to hear screeching Washington.
We did have a few people on Discord say that they wanted to see your schedule because they would drive to go see you perform in this.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I guess I'll upload it, but
Yeah.
I don't really want anyone to see the Washington show because of my current voice.
Come on.
I do want them to see
Yeah.
me like this.
Yeah, they this
And
is a
only
treat.
like this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us for today's episode. We like talking about sorceresses and sorcerers,
But mostly S's.
but mostly yeah, I previously mentioned our Discord community, so it's bumping. New people are joining.
Bumping and grinding.
Bumping and grinding. People have a lot to say, and you can be one of those people who has a lot to say. Please continue to follow us on social medias. You can find us at _mythunderstood. You can find Sarah at the Sarah Oliver.
Yeah.
You can find me at the Paul Bianchi.
Find him.
And you can search desperately for Dragon Wagon Radio and find it at It's Dragon Wagon. Yeah. And please continue to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. We like reading those in
10
our
stars.
in our desperate and lonely times. And yeah.
So daily.
So every single day. Night night. We love you.
Night night.
Hey everyone, Jake Lloyd-Bacon here.
Along with Paul Bianchi.
And Alexandra Hoy.
Hey, we all host different shows on Dragon Wagon Radio.
We do, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
Not at all. We are here to talk about Dungeons and Dragon Wagon,
A narrative podcast series in which we venture into a mythical land for a D&D inspired role-playing game.
Alexandra and I are joined by Matt Hinksman and a very special guest of quest for each chapter of an epic saga in which we must take on the roles of half-orcs, dark elves, and more as we fight our way through a fantastical land of peril, drama, and often hilarity.
All of which is controlled by me, the Dungeon Master, and the player's chance rolls of the die.
And our show is for everyone. Even if you know nothing about D&D or role-playing games, we've got you covered.
That's right, our game sessions are highly edited, easy to follow, sound designed from top to bottom, and completely immersive.
Yeah, our episodes sound more like a well-produced radio drama than an RPG show.
So what are you waiting for? Join the adventure on Dungeons and Dragon Wagon at dndwpod.com or wherever you find great podcasts.
It's Dragon Wagon.